Hey everyone and welcome. It's been a while since the Dublin riot, hasn't it? And we've all seen the response. Ignore the threat and target the natives. Surprise, surprise. And this is just for wanting our children to be safe going to primary school. We were called, and are still called, far right, hooligans, thieves, radicalised idiots, and the best of all, extremists. There's been zero outrage from the media or politicians for the children stabbed. Not a single bit. Explains a lot, doesn't it? And they're now shutting down speech both online and otherwise, claiming it's for, as they said, the greater good. That's not your greater good, obviously, it's just theirs. And this is on the excuse of rooting out extremism. Well, I'd say, with the evidence in videos and information about the Irish government, it seems they are the extremists.
And I do believe that we have rotten politics, and I'm not using that as an exaggeration.
And not just one or two, the majority, if not all. Imagine saying this about any other race in any other nation. Have a listen to this.
Corollary being that your whiteness is itself an advantage, and to really understand that.
In the very dull, white, pasty Ireland that I grew up in, because the Ireland that I grew up in was made for people just like me. It was made for white, middle-class, able-bodied, heterosexual men.
There is obviously a fairly obvious deficiency in what we're doing. We're basically a room full of white men talking about racism. So just to name that.
One thing I strongly agree with the Deputy on is the need to set a target to have a number of people from ethnic minorities in areas of the public service. We have a health service that's very diverse, although less so as you go up towards the senior positions, not so much in the Gardaí, not so much in the Defence Forces, not so much in the education sector, as the Deputy mentioned, not at all in the civil service, which is very white. Including the Department of Equality, for example, and that actually needs to change.
There's serious work that needs to be done in the context of Irish politics, because even when you look at a male-dominated politics, who are the males dominating that? And the majority are more privileged, are predominantly white. There is very little ethnic visibility across any of that. So measures need to be put in place to start looking at that.
Yeah, the last thing we want to do is replace a bunch of straight white middle-class able-bodied men with a bunch of straight white middle-class able-bodied women. Replacement
theory confirmed in their own words, everyone. These are supposed to represent the nation. So the enemy, in my opinion, is within. The disdain these swamp feeders have for their own is shocking, isn't it? Then we have examples like this diversity hire scumbag. This is city councillor called Abul Kalam Azad Tuluka, who was seemingly inserted into his position as Limerick councillor. This is his victory speech of lies, everyone.
I look different color, but people doesn't give me vote because of the Muslim or I'm different color. People vote for me, anybody from any color, any religion, That's why I'm not representative of the Muslim, I'm not representative of the migrant, I'm representative of the Limerick City Council.
So that was fluffy, wasn't it, everyone? He's not just representing Islam, he's not just representing Muslims, he's not just representing people of colour, he's representing everybody. And here is what he said in response to the Dublin riots after that fluffy little message. I strongly believe that this is not the face of Ireland. This is just some criminals looting the shops. I don't think they follow any ideological purpose. They come to the streets and just rob. They should get punishment. And he continued, and here is the best bit. This is the disgusting bit and the reason why I called him scum. You ready? Remember that he's talking about Irish people unhappy about children being stabbed. Remember that. He continued with, not even an animal does these kinds of things. It is very shameful and they should get public punishment. I'd like to see them shot in the head or bring the public in and beat them until they die. That was a quote by him, everyone. Now, both of those comments are sharia compliant, aren't they? Not Irish law compliant, and should be criminal in Ireland. This man is still a councillor, by the way. He hasn't been sacked, he hasn't been investigated, and he hasn't been jailed. You can be damn sure you would be if you said it. Even his party leader said this. You can't call for people to be shot in the council chamber and asking for the remarks to be withdrawn. Tulukada is said to have claimed that he was merely expressing his emotion and said, okay, I can withdraw that. Do you get the chance to withdraw anything that they punish you for when it comes to words anymore, everyone? Do you get the chance to apologise and just withdraw your words, especially when it's a call to murder? Anyone? Imagine if the Irish or any Irish person said that now or after this totalitarian bill they're bringing in. They'd throw away the key and you know it. Why should they avoid the laws they impose on us? And they call us extremists when they're saying stuff like this and saying stuff like they said in the other video. They call us radicalised. These people disgust me to my core. And one good takeaway from this is they're not sleeping well at night now, are they? The ivory tower's crumbling at the roots. This is why they're getting so desperate. And these desperate, hateful measures will only make it worse. Let me say this, Ireland. The world sees your leaders for what they are. Traitors to the Irish people. About time you did too. Absolutely disgusting, isn't it, the response? These are honest, legitimate family people, outraged, and rightly so, that children were targeted on purpose by someone that the government failed to protect them from. Is that not a viable reason to be enraged? Let me know what you think in the comments, everyone. I'd like to know your opinion. Stay sane. I'll see you on the next one.